Welcome to a new update, and today we're going to focus on the chances that we have with Bitcoin correcting, as we have been hitting a crucial resistance zone and also we have seen a weekend's fake out. So that's what we're going to focus on when it comes to this update. But before we continue, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, also check out my Instagram where you can see me posting a lot of content, as right now I'm still in Cape Town. Wednesday we've got a meetup coming up, which you can still sign up for. You can find it in the description beneath, so make sure to check that out. Also, final 2 days of the discount of 30% lifetime on our premium membership. You can find that in the description beneath. And then including that, we're going to launch copy trading on February 1st. Which you can also find the final bonuses we have with BitCat in the description beneath. So make sure to use these 2 days to sign up for our premium membership and get access to our copy trading solution. Also, if you might have seen, my Twitter is currently not posting anything at all. Something strange is going on. I'm currently locked out of my Twitter account. So I'm trying to get in touch with Twitter and hopefully I'm back up soon. Now, when we're looking at the markets, I think we are approaching a very crucial week in terms of the fact that FOMC is on Wednesday, ECB is on Thursday. We've got some more economic data coming in and also tech companies coming with their earnings this week, which means that lots of volatility is going to be taking place. And we've already seen that volatility taking place on the Bitcoin markets during the weekend. In this update, we continue by checking the DXY. We're going to check out the Nasdaq as well. We're going to check gold, and then we're going to finally look at Bitcoin. But first, some slight overview on Bitcoin. As we can see, that we have been rallying substantially in the past week, or actually the past weeks, as we went from 16.4 to 23.8, resulting into a giant, massive run as we can have here. And we have been testing this crucial resistance zone, which is the final hurdle before we can start accelerating towards 31k and possibly 37. But those runs just don't happen without a standard correction taking place. So what we also see here is a bearish divergence taking place while the volume is draining down when it comes to Bitcoin. So let's have a look at the DXY at this point. The dollar is still acting into support at this stage. We don't see a trend shift yet, but it seems inevitable that we have some sort of momentum taking place on the DXY before the turnaround of the DXY and continuation of the downtrend. So very comparable to what we've seen in 2021. Some sideways action, and also the FOMC will be decisive when it comes to the DXY. Overall, I think that a sweep towards 101 isn't necessary to take place at this point, and I think that we will be having a case where the markets are going to drop towards those regions, and then we can start bouncing towards 105 when it comes to the DXY. We are looking at the Nasdaq. We can technically see that the Nasdaq has been showing a lot of strength in the past weeks as well, but there is some sort of turnaround happening at this point, in which we can see that the futures have been making the same identical sweep as what Bitcoin has been doing, has been sweeping the highs, has been getting into resistance and sweeping that high as well, through which it seems very likely that we're going to continue having the fall. In order to have that fall taking place towards 11,500 or possibly even 11,300 points, we need to lose 11,900, in which we are currently bouncing. So on the current edge is that we have a slight bounce before this entire fake out is going to be diminished, and then we're going to continue the downtrend on this one, all depending on the coming 48 hours. When we discuss the Nasdaq, we can also clearly say that Tesla has been making a giant run, and as I said earlier, I've been buying Tesla in the regions on 100 points. I've actually been closing that one completely, or actually still open with 10 to 20% of my position. Most have been closed. Crucial resistance approaching here, might be taking the high around 197, go to 208 before we start falling again. So in terms of that perspective, I'm currently waiting for that to take place, but Tesla showing strength, and therefore it's a signal that most likely the markets are getting a bit overheated on this run going into the FOMC meeting, through which we can expect a correction taking place relatively soon. Gold, nice run, getting into resistance, might push a bit more towards 1960, and then we can start finding ourselves into a corrective period before we can continue blasting towards new highs. So overall, the markets are all just shooting upwards and getting into a resistance area, just like Bitcoin has been doing it here as well. As you can see on the daily time frame, crucial resistance, 3-day time frame actually, crucial resistance taking place. And when we look at the lower time frames, we can actually see that we are back into a range resistance here. As you can see, we have been trying to break this range resistance, went up, broke 23.3, went towards the next one at 24, took the high here, and then we started to fall, in which we are back into the range low, or actually back into the range, finding ourselves into crucial resistance 23.3. So that's why I keep this as a very important level. I think that anything between 23.3 to 23.5 is an area that you could be looking for shorts if this one is the final case of a slight turnaround. If we do and we take out these lows at 23k, I think that we're going to take out the lows at 22.3 and we're targeting ourselves towards 21.4 to 21.5. In that case, bearish divergence on the 4 hour as well just continue to be building here, and I think that the actual liquidity will start to jump in once we take the liquidity on the lows, as most of the traders are currently positioned in long positions, and this fake out isn't really giving you the thought that we are going to continue. Additionally, we also know that the Binance buyer has quit. He has been distributing at this point, through which we can assume that having some sort of correction taking place in the coming week to weeks isn't a very bad cause on the markets at this point. Finally, when we look at the markets, we also have to look at Aptos, which is currently making the sweep of the highs, starts to make a big bearish divergence here as well. Not guaranteed that we're going to continue falling down, but I think that the levels around 1270 are quite clear if you want to look for long positions. So that's the update for today. I think that if Bitcoin is not going to crack through 23.3 to 23.5, we're going to continue to fall, especially with FOMC being overhyped a bit. The FOMC still doesn't have a reason to actually pivot that much. Maybe slightly pausing it down, but overall the markets are just being too much hyped going into a big recession still. So be safe, be cautious, and I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh new update. Ciao.